Listen, lead generation has changed. And if you're finding yourself utilizing the exact same tactics that you were utilizing years prior, you're probably finding yourself or your business completely stuck. And as a business owner myself, I know how frustrating it can be to keep up with all the constant changes in whatever lead generation industry you're participating in. So after trying hundreds of different angles and techniques and software tools, we've really dumbed it down to one key format and strategy that we're running right now that's helped us be responsible for generating north of $7 million in annual recurring revenue for us and our clients. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down that exact strategy for you so you can start booking more meetings, selling more clients, and making a lot more money. So let's get into it. There are hundreds of different outreach methodologies that exist, and a vast majority of them are effective before they either hit a ceiling or just absolutely collapse. And in reality, the best lead generation strategy is one that allows you to reach decision makers that are willing to hear what you have to say, what you want, how you want, and without limitations. Now, let's take cold calling, for example. Cold calling is one of the oldest lead generation strategies within the whole landscape itself. There's softwares out there now that enable you to dial anywhere from 2 to 10 people at a time, which is great. And so you have that ability to go out and engage those target personas. But one of the biggest challenges that lies within that opportunity there itself is manual labor, right? You're going to have to invest a ton of manual labor at the upfront of that partnership to train that individual up, get them invested in the shared economic opportunity that you guys are looking to go and accomplish. And that's to say that after you train them that they are going to be good, because a lot of people aren't going to be good at talking and on the phone and handling objections. And so you're going to have that manual labor input, and you have to continually feed that engine. So it just lacks the scalability to go out and accomplish those goals. So therein lies one of the biggest challenges with cold calling today. Let's take Twitter, for example. Let's try social media, right? I think Twitter narrows it down so you can only message 500 people a day, which is still really large. And I'm sure a lot of the people that are watching this video right now have got a message from some curly-haired kid that's got a perm that just says, "Yo, G," and they're just ready to just pitch you on something that just totally doesn't resonate. And that's what the problem, right? Is like a lot of these platforms and tools, like one is they have sending limitations with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like Pinterest, Reddit. I'm sure that's all out there. Like there's sending limitations. But also number two is like there's no reliable real tools out there that allow you to effectively customize that message to that target persona at scale. And that is just like the biggest challenge, is like because you just have to manually do these things every single day. And so it comes down to softwares and systems and scalability that really relies in like the huge challenge. There's been one lead generation strategy that I alluded to at the front end of this video here that has been incredibly effective for addressing those two main issues, being scalable and allowing us to meet decision makers that are willing to hear us when we want, how we want, and without limitations. And what's that called? Cold email. So let's get into it. Now, there are really three key reasons why cold email lead generation is so effective and that we're employing it as the main mechanism within our agency right now. And number one being, it's so scalable, it allows you to reach thousands of decision makers every single day. Now, cold email at its core, like bare bones, right? It relies on a technical infrastructure. So what you're going to do is you have a main domain that your business is hosted on. You're going to want to purchase a bunch of different subdomains underneath that are like Go Buzzlead, Try Buzzlead, Get Buzzlead, Want Buzzlead, Opt Buzzlead, like all sorts of just like different little spins that you're putting on your domain. And then each of those domains is going to have 2 to 3 sending accounts for those domains itself. So you don't want to tip 100 emails going out a day. Just a quick little side note there. Anyways, you could have anywhere from 50 different subdomains with 100 sending accounts to 5,000 different subdomains with 10,000 sending accounts that you're reaching out from. And each of these sending accounts, it depends on who you're listening to or what you want to do. In our experience, we try to keep them at 25 emails on a daily basis. So like, for example, if you have 1,000 or 100 sending accounts that are sending out 25 emails a day, that's 2,500 new decision makers that you can go out and engage with on a daily basis. And then you just start tacking on zeros on the end of that, and you can see the huge total addressable market that you can start engaging with on a monthly basis if you just have good data and resources. So like the technical infrastructure itself is built up to be scalable, so you don't have the challenges with manual labor or skilled labor that you'll have with cold calling. And you don't have the technical issues that you encounter with tools like Instagram DMs or Twitter DMs. Like it's rather scalable. We utilize a tool called Smart Leads. It's really helpful for this. We purchase all of our domains through a tool called Pork Bun, and then we'll either utilize a reseller or have a VA set up the domains internally and then set up the sending accounts. And then they just hook them up to Smart Leads. Smart Leads right now, I think has like 2,000 2,000 different sending accounts for us. And from there, you just quickly import your campaigns into the text boxes of like the different variants that you want to spin up. You set up the sending schedule, you drop in the lead list into that, and then you just click go. And you're sending 2,500 emails, 5,000 emails on a daily basis going out and engaging these target personas. You'll want to make sure that you're filtering correctly for how many leads you want to be engaging with on new leads on a daily basis versus follow-ups there. But all that to say is like it encounters the scalability issue. That was a huge problem. But once you start sending 2,500 emails, get prepared to start getting replies from 1 to 10% of those. And a big part of that is just like inbox management to be really effective at the cold email lead generation. And so one of the reasons that I recommend Smart Leads for lead generation is because it has AI categorization. You can just use like a GPT API hookup, and it'll just like categorize your emails based on like what they look like. And so let me just jump into it real quick and I can show you guys what that looks like. So this is the cold email inbox, right? Like it's just the master inbox. You got it over here on the left side. One of like the ways we just train up our inbox managers is to specifically come in here and filter for specific lead categories. So information requests, interested, meeting request. Then we also have some like additional tiers, but then you'll just like come in here and you'll just see the interested replies. And then you just like quickly follow up with them here, right? Like people wanted to find some time to meet, all that good stuff. Then you can just like come in here and look at unassigned replies, right? There's 1,200 email inboxes in this account. And then you can just like quickly filter for the unassigned replies and respond to those accordingly, right? So just like help keeping track of that. But it's rather simplistic, right? It just like can get all that information in one place, and then you're just contacting so many people on a monthly basis that no other system or tool can effectively do. So that's number one. Now, number two, which kind of adds an exclamation point to the first one, is it allows you to just increase your volume effectively, right? Like, so you're able to contact thousands of decision makers just like with this framework, should your data provide. You can use tools like Ocean and Clay and stuff like that to go and find your target population. Say you're behind on your sales or your lead generation goals, you simply just add more subdomains and email accounts to go and engage more target personas. So like once you start sending and getting replies, you're gonna know what scripts are resonating and what scripts aren't, and you're gonna scale into those effectively. That's like pretty basic knowledge that I think is easy to understand, right? With your A/B testing. You can then just purchase email accounts to add onto more of your sending capacity, because essentially every time you purchase one domain, you're adding another 100 emails that you can send on a daily basis. We typically send, I said once again, 25 emails per account. But anyways, you just scale it out, right? So you just take whatever technical infrastructure you had that you're running with in month 1 and month 2 that got you a certain result, and you can either double that or 3x that should the data provide for your total addressable market, and then you just scale into it effectively. So you're able to reach decision makers, but you're also able to send mass volume that is customized to those individuals effectively. So that's number 2. I think it's a big exclamation point on why cold email is so effective that none of these other platforms, because you're not running into that capitalization of you can only send 500 emails or 500 messages on a daily basis. Like you can send as many as you want from as many accounts that exist out there. That's all going to route back to that main domain. So it all looks legit, right? It all looks very well organized per se. And then number 3, and kind of like what I called out in the issue with the software tools that exist with like Instagram and Twitter and like those DMs, is you can't personalize it. So like when it comes to cold email, it really like comes down to 3 key components when I like to think about it, maybe 4 depending on who you ask. One is like, do you have the right offer? Number 2 is, do you have the right people? Do you have the right data sources? And then number 3 is like, do you have the right copy? And is that personalized to that individual, right? And people would argue that number 4 is like, do you have the right systems in place? And we already talked about systems, so we're going to table that. But like, let's look at those: the offer, the people, and the copy itself. So like the offer itself is like, what do you fundamentally bring to the table? And with cold email, you're able to send, as I said, thousands of emails on a daily basis and get that feedback from your audience within a closed feedback loop. So you're able to see if that offer is resonating. And if it's not resonating, your copywriting either sucks or your offer sucks. And you need to go out and you need to position that more effectively or talk to more people to see if they would even be interested in what you have to say. But the market is going to tell you all. So you will be able to figure out, number 1, one way or the other, and that harsh truth might just be the truth itself. Now, number 2 for data scraping, finding the right people, right? I have a larger video. I'll likely link it at the end of this video here around like how to find 10,000 of the best fit clients that exist out there. Now, there are tools that we like to utilize. One of our best campaigns that we run right now for any client that comes in the door is what we call the lookalike campaign. Essentially, we take their best fit clients. So think of the 80-20 ratio, right? Like 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your clients. And if you had 2x that amount of 20% of your clients, like what would your business look like? It's significantly different. So that's the vision we like to paint for our clients. It's like, let us go out and let's find those lookalike audiences. So the way that we effectively utilize that is we use a tool called Clay. So we say, hey, give us your 5 to 10 best fit clients or dream clients you want to work with. We then import them into Clay. Clay will then conduct a Boolean search of everyone on the internet utilizing like some lookalike filters. It'll then come back with anywhere from 4 to 25,000 different companies that are similar to the audience that we want to engage with. We then take that lead list, we import the company names into Apollo or Clay or what have you, and then we find them at a contact level, and then we run hyper-personalized outreach to those people that's like, hey, we just helped this company get this result. Are you interested to see if we can do the same for you? So like, you can have really good data for those specific type of people. We call that like lookalike campaign strategy that we like to employ. And then for personalization or on the copy side of things, like there's so much you can utilize now from an AI landscape. Specifically, we love a tool called Clay, but there's like so much you can do there. And one of the things that I often talk around with copywriting is a lot of people are just kind of like throwing things into the wind and seeing what catches. And it ultimately it just pisses people off and you don't get any replies. And you see that in low performing cold email agencies. But when you work with a high performing one, what you'll notice in their copywriting strategy is the way that they utilize AI effectively. And it's not AI writing a whole copy, it's AI noticing a few things within a company's journey, whether that be a recent round of funding, or the website traffic that they're getting, or how many marketing personnel they have on their team, or they're hiring for an SDR, right? Or they're hiring for a demand generation creator. Like all these sort of different little things that you could latch onto that a company is promoting and showing you. And if you can see how relevant that is to what you're providing to the market there itself, it's going to compel them to want to take action. And so you utilize tools like Clay for that exact thing. It's like, I noticed your guys' web traffic last month was down 15% month over month. You could utilize SEMrush on Clay to pull that information in and then just like quickly provide a formula to source that information and clean that up. We've been working with other industry brands to increase on-page conversions by X amount, right? And then you just utilize the call to action there. So like, it's incredibly relevant. And then you can also use AI to provide different marketing ideas or content ideas or video ideas that you can utilize for all sorts of different outreach mechanisms. And so fundamentally, what exists with cold email is, one, you have the volume, two, it's really scalable, and the number three is you can really personalize that outreach to a lot of people effectively at scale, and you have a close feedback loop to see how that's resonating with the market, because you're either going to be getting replies or you're not, and you're going to have to take that truth either way that it comes. Hopefully at the end of this video, you're able to see that cold email is easily one of the best lead generation strategies that exists out there, and will continue to be so until we see some huge industry changes, which I don't think anyone was expecting at this point, just fundamentally the way the practice exists. And so really coming out of this video, you have three things that you can do. Either one is you can continue to run your business as you were utilizing the previous lead generation strategies that have you stuck and will continue to let you be stuck, but that's fine. So that's option one. Number two is you could join our school community, where we will go over 15 plus in-depth videos discussing everything from cold email lead generation to what you need to do, how you need to do it, and what resources you need to employ, with active coaching calls and script writing courses, so you guys can get a lot better at start booking meetings. Or option three is you can book a call with us directly on our website to learn a little bit more about our services, and we can build out the entire framework that I just talked to you around, the email infrastructure, the lead list, the copywriting. We can do that all for you for a one-time done with you cost. So anyways, the choice is yours. I look forward to chatting with you guys, and I will see you in the next video here.